we are about to swim through some garbage, so let's do it. I also think for this week's garbage, between the three things that you shared, there's plenty. There's plenty. I don't think we have to move on to any other topic. So I pulled up the Carlin, the Marone, and the Atkinson thing, respectively.
Oh. I mean, they're all sort of tied into the same bit.
Yes,
but yeah, go ahead.
But Rowan Atkinson, I want to once again have a platform where I bitch and moan about how cancel culture isn't real in the way that a lot of people think. Anyways. So, why don't you get us started on Carlin and what got you thinking about punching down?
Yeah, I mean, there has been, since Trump's victory in 24, well, and I would say even since the post-COVID craze,
Correct, that's what I
the
was gonna say.
right-wing surge, I want to say like 2022, there has been a very strong undercurrent in the online comedian bro-Rogan space. That is just anti-woke, anti-Joe Biden, which I guess I don't really need to throw Joe Biden in there, but it's all sort of tied into this big package of, like, fuck what they perceive mainstream to be.
Who's they, real quick?
When I say they, I mean the right-wing sphere, which includes the Joe Rogan, that comedy group. Right, like he's got a bunch of bros who all moved to Austin, and he's got the Mothership, which I believe is the name of his comedy club down there.
Yep, been there.
And there is a thread that weaves through every single one of those comedians that will punch trans people right in the face.
Yeah,
just for sake of a laugh, and I don't know, like to them they're being anti-mainstream or anti status quo, I suppose. Which I guess
when
you
was
could
the
have
status
argued
quo to be trans? But go ahead.
Again, this is under
It's
the Biden
trans
admin.
panic. Yeah.
This is right, but it's yeah. Well, nonetheless, so I saw a short by this guy, Mark Marone.
Yeah, let's
where
play
he's
it real
basically
quick. Let's play it real
yeah,
quick.
go ahead.
At this point, it's lazy and sloppy and hackneyed. You know, to be in a club where, you know, I'm walking down the hall at the comedy club, and, you know, in one room, someone's doing their bit about trans people, and then I get down the hall and there's someone on stage going, well, I guess I got to do my bit about trans people. Like, no, you don't. You don't. It's hack now. I mean, you know, you guys got the freedom you wanted. You can now say whatever you want. They're defeated. Their rights have been denied. The policies that you guys encouraged with your stupid material are now policy. And now, like, you know, half the people under the umbrella of anti-woke, we've lost a tremendous amount of democratic-leaning ideas and movements. So whether they knew it or not, that's what they were spearheading. So now it's reality, and you want to still keep kicking them? Go ahead.
I don't know that the comedians have had that much power.
Are you f***ing out of your mind?
No, I'm being serious.
Joe Rogan. I'm not gonna.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
You know, you can't separate. Like, if the movement is like, you know, we're being censored. No, you're not. You're not. There's no constitutional censorship issue with your free speech.
True.
You say things, and in a democratic shit show of an environment, you know, like Twitter or whatever, there's cultural pushback, but that's a specific issue. To frame it as some sort of free speech problem was a misdirect.
Correct.
It wasn't. It wasn't a free speech problem. It was that people were getting cultural pushback. That is not a constitutional issue. No one was being put in jail for saying anything. That's a free speech issue. But my problem is you're going to start talking about anti-woke, and that's going to be your point of view. That's going to be your ideological, you know, grounding for what you do. Okay, that's fine. But why does it have to be the same four things? You know, it's like they talk about the same shit. And I don't know a better definition of hack. I mean, after a certain point, it's like, you know, what juice does the word really have? How much do you have to give trans people? You know, what is your big problem with gay people? What's your big problem with women? It's like, what is this, 80s again?
So before I let you, like, share your thoughts and keep rolling here, this is my spirit animal, because I often think the way this man does, and I often and you know this with my other channel that I have, I also have the same kind of delivery, which is like, I don't give a fuck. There's too many times that people who fight for marginalized people, do it in a very political and buttoned up way. Fuck that. Who cares? This is 2025. I think we can all agree, whether you agree with this guy or not, is the age of anti-establishment. And if you're going to come out here, whatever your message is, whether you're conservative, liberal, or God knows what, and be all buttoned up and prim and proper and deliver shit like Pete Buttigieg, nobody wants it. Nobody wants it. You got to get in the fight. You got to fucking deliver with some entertainment, but not just that. Deliver with some gusto, some like passion. Not just come out here and be like, well, I think we should probably be nicer to trans people. It's like, no, fuck that. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, you're basically, I mean, you're saying this guy's your spirit animal. George Carlin would probably be your spirit animal.
Yeah, true.
Certainly not everything he says, but certainly the way he delivers
Correct.
it is just an unapologetic lambasting of dumb ideas, essentially.
There's so many other ways to say it's a big fucking club and you're not in it, but he chose that because it hit, it delivered, it was entertainment. It was like, holy shit, right.
And it still hits, buddy.
No,
that
does.
shit still fucking hits.
And in the same respect, I go back and watch old Obama speeches, and I'm like, why do we think this guy's some charismatic? Like, he's boring as fuck. Sorry, go ahead.
I'd push back a little bit on that, but I get what you mean. He's definitely he's buttoned up. He was less buttoned up than the politicians at that time, just to be clear. I mean, 2008 was a different sort of American politics, but...
What did this video spark in your mind, though?
Well, so I scrolled past this, and at the top of the comment section, somebody had posted the Carl Sagan clip, where he essentially is talking about what this guy is talking about, but in the 80s, or like the 90s, I want to say. Whereas essentially is... when comedy is a tool for criticizing particularly those in power or people who think they are unimpeachable, right? Those are the ones that, out of everybody else, need to be poked at the most, because your shit does not, right? Like, having a my shit doesn't stink attitude is something that has to be torn down at least slightly.
Yes.
Which to me, you know, when you're dunking on trans people in 2025 and Donald Trump is president, like, that is the definition of punching down, right? These people have, he says here, these people have lost. Their rights are constantly being just stripped away. Mm-hmm. Their respect in general public and polite society is gone. Why are we?
And also, don't you think that they're actually, even in 2025, in the year where Trump is president, don't you think there is still a way to joke about trans people? But the way some people do it is lazy, sloppy, and just feels hateful. But by the way, and I think Nord would agree with me here. We both agree there's a way to make fun of anything. There really is. You can thread that needle. Some people are really good at it, and some people aren't. But you can thread a needle on anything. I don't care. It's just how you do it, the way you deliver it, all fucking matters. And if you're lazy, sloppy, and riding on just, you have 2 million subscribers on YouTube and you don't have to try hard anymore, it looks hateful and shitty. So.
Well, again, and it's like, when your comedy consists of just saying the word retard out loud, you're not clever.
No.
You're not clever. I'm sorry.
It's tough.
It's like just shock humor for the sake of shock humor. Shock humor can be well done, but saying it just because it's offensive is just brain dead comedy. Dude, the only person laughing at that, I just have no respect for you. I'm sorry.
And even saying
nothing
it's humor is wrong. It's just shock. It's just shock.
Right.
You know.
It's like a 9/11 joke just because people died that day. Like, no, that's not why 9/11 jokes can be funny.
That's so terrible.
It truly is lazy. It's lazy. So to me, and I think there is a bit of a reckoning here, even just 6 months into Trump's presidency. It seems like the likes of Joe Rogan are pulling the reins back because they know that the cultural tone has shifted. So it does feel like you are a hack if you're still dunking on trans folks in 2025, because you are a hack. The power has shifted, and now you're punching people in the face that have already been beat up on.
Yep.
Right? It's not funny. And I'm not going to stand here and say that you shouldn't do that comedy. but I'm gonna stand here and say you're a bad comedian if that's the comedy you do.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I used to listen to JRE, and for that and many other reasons I don't. So there's their punishment from me, right? Nobody's saying like this Marx guy's point. Like nobody took your free speech away. You're not going to jail because that's ridiculous.
Correct.
So you might lose some subscribers and some people might lose respect for you, and that's the way it works. Like,
yeah, that's the marketplace of free ideas.
It reminds me of like
choose for their attention.
It reminds me of, and I wish people, I hate to say would be more mature, but I feel like that's the only way I can say it. It reminds me of like the fact that you can criticize out of power, no problem, and everyone can cheer and agree because, hey, look, the people who do have the power aren't doing it right. But the minute you have the power, shit changes.
Yep.
Shit changes, bro. And that vibe shifts. And it's crazy because I feel like the same people who would make fun of trans people and then when the vibe shifts, they stop, still don't register in their mind that their earlier rhetoric can lead to like some really negative things happening. Somehow that doesn't set in until the next person actually does take power, and they're like, oh. So I don't know. It just reminds me of that.
Right. Here are the consequences of my actions. Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I do fucking... Is it Howie Mandel? I fucking am so upset that in that clip he goes, comedians don't have that pull. We saw that they do in 2024. Objectively, they do. Especially in a landscape of online clips and short-form media. Of course they fucking do.
Yeah, that was a shitty thing to say. I don't even know how he meant it. I just know he was on America's Got Talent. I don't know what the fuck he does. But
Deal or No Deal.
And he was on America's Got Talent. Oh yeah, Deal or No Deal. Shit, you're right. He was on Deal or No Deal.
That's what I know him from.
But putting to the side that, let's just say they didn't have power in 2024, which I don't agree with. You still have a platform, and you're still choosing what you're saying on that platform, period. You can say we don't have that kind of power, but you do have something. What are you doing with something? I know what Bill Burr's doing. There's a lot of people out there that don't really like him right now because it feels like he's going political. No, he's been saying the same shit he always has. You're just upset because now Trump's in power and it feels like a criticism. So, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a little bit more explicit about it now, but if you don't think...
I think because the threat is realer than it's been. But go ahead, sorry.
That's been the heartbeat of, like, his political commentary for so long, though. And I will say, Bill Burr did shit on, quote-unquote, some aspects of the woke left, too.
Not some.
But, like...
Definitely.
A lot of that is what sort of elevated him, but a lot of his criticism that he was leveraging was at a time when that was sort of the power dynamic, certainly online, certainly in a pre-Elon Musk Twitter, right? Which is why I think like there's utility to what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah, because you could also point to like that one or that few people back in the day when anti-woke started surging in a reaction to woke, and I'm talking way back in the day. You could point to some people that were also coming from that side of it, being like, well, we should have laws and rules around making fun of it. Like that's also insane. These two idiots talking here support people saying pretty much whatever, man. Pretty much whatever. Because you're going to live and die by your own sword. So people back in the day who would have said being mean should be illegal too, or this or that, like, no, they're dumb too. But in this day and age, that's not what we're dealing with the powers that be, right?
No,
and
it's not.
The same people that bitched about those woke people back in the day and claimed they were anti-woke are now woke themselves because they're the ones that want to control things and tell people how to be based on rules and laws. And they don't even see that. It's fucking insane. How do you not see that you guys were the snowflakes that you hated in the OG times?
You become the very thing you sort of destroy.
And I like talking to you and some other people because I feel like we do see that, but it's tough to... A lot of these people don't see it, which is crazy. But
yeah, self-awareness is a difficult thing.
It is.
I always start every single day with the thought in my head that I'm a piece of shit. So if you start from
By the way,
you only have
boys and girls out
go.
there, that's the right way to be.
Yeah.
Because I think, and we can have even a further discussion about this, in this day and age of echo chambers and social media and the internet, you can get your opinions validated no matter what they are very easily, and that leaves us to not self-reflecting. That leaves us to devices that allow us, in our worst part of ourselves, to be supported in a way that makes us not even self-reflect. We both have stories of coming to each other in our life about some dumb shit that we told the other person, you're a fucking idiot, and we moved on. Who's not getting that now on so many different levels? Because you can just go to the internet and see, oh, well, this guy also hates black people, so, like, there's my community, and I'm now bolstered in my opinion, which is a fucking shitty opinion. Like,
yeah.
But nobody's there. Like, well, there are people there, but you don't have, you know, it's so much easier to just... It always makes me think of this Vice documentary. It hit me so hard. They did it on incels, and they were interviewing this guy in his room who was on unemployment, and all he did was wake up and get in incel chat communities every day and just chat with other incels. Like hardcore, like dangerous incels. Not just like unassuming, but they have weird beliefs day to day. These people were dangerous, and they would log on and say hateful shit. And it's just like, I remember thinking to myself, like, if you don't have this device, this computer, you would have people in your life all around you telling you, like, hey, you need to self-reflect. This doesn't make sense. And he doesn't have that. And then the reason why it hits so hard is because right at the end of the segment, it flashes on the screen that he took his life, like, not long after.
Yes.
And it just sucks because, like, I went from hating him. I shouldn't say that. We shouldn't hate anyone. I went from loathing his experience and his existence because of what he was to when he took his life, kind of reflecting on my own, saying, like, these things are bad for people. And there's a lot of people out there that would have otherwise been good with growth and learning in their life on pushback that aren't getting it. And that's sad. So it's...
No, I agree. And just as a quick clarification, I think as far as my memory goes, because I've seen that Vice documentary, it wasn't him that killed himself, but somebody that was in his
it was someone in the
direct,
group.
like,
You're right.
group.
You're right.
Yeah. But regardless, yeah, just to rewind a little bit, because I agree with you with basically everything you just said there. But I did read, just picking at this topic a bit more, just Googling, like, punching down in comedy, I came across Rowan Atkinson, who was famously Mr. Bean for me growing up. Incredibly hilarious physical comedy kind of guy. Very few words. But he's actually an incredible comedian, very intelligent person, and he kind of blew up my perspective just slightly. And I think I put his quote in the document. Mm-hmm. And I'll just kind of paraphrase it.
No, just read it. It's all good.
If you don't mind.
Whatever. Just rip it
Okay,
off.
so he was being interviewed, and this is a quote from his interview in a 2022 interview in the Irish Times. He says, "It does seem to me that the job of comedy is to offend, or have the potential to offend, and it cannot be drained of that potential. Every joke has a victim," which is, and this is me saying this, absolutely true. Every joke has a butt, whether it's a person or a thing, regardless.
Mm-hmm.
So back to the quote. Every joke has a victim. That's the definition of a joke. Somebody or something or an idea is made to look ridiculous. I think you've got to be very, very careful about saying what you're allowed to make jokes about. You've always got to kick up? Really? What if there's someone extremely smug, arrogant, aggressive, self-satisfied who happens to be below in society? They're not all in houses of parliaments or in monarchies. There are a lot of extremely smug and self-satisfied people in what would be deemed lower down in society who also deserve to be pulled up. In a proper free society, should be allowed to make jokes about absolutely anything. Which I think that last sentence in particular, both you and I would
But hang on.
Agree with.
I'm curious, just to focus on what you'll say next. I'm curious as to what made you disagrees with everything we just said. How does this disagree with anything that we just said?
Not entirely. Because he is saying here that even if people aren't in a position of power, even if people aren't quote-unquote part of the status quo, you can pick at them.
But we never said you couldn't. This goes back to what Mark Marone said. Is that his name? I think so. What are we talking about when we say in a proper free society? How many people in the UK and US are arrested because they made jokes? 0. We're in a proper free society, aren't we? So I don't know where this is coming from. Go ahead.
Well, just to clarify there, the UK is wildly different than the US as far as free speech goes. There are people who have
Fine, let me say this. It would shock me that anybody was locked up for a joke in the UK. Is that fair to say?
You'd be surprised.
What?
It's part of why
I'm not going to ask Google because it's going to give me an AI slop answer. Go ahead.
Listen, there are people notably who have been penalized for tweets on Twitter. But again, the UK, and that's kind of where like this, you take it with a grain of salt where he's coming from, Rowan Atkinson, because he lives in the UK,
right?
Because that is not objectively like they don't have a First Amendment there. It truly the rules are different there.
Okay, that's fair. Let's just keep it to our country then. Nobody's locked up here because of a joke. It's not a thing.
That's correct.
So
that is correct.
When people like him who do exist in the U.S. saying the same thing say it, I want to know what the fuck is happening. You just seem like a grifter to me because, or you're just upset with the cultural pushback you get, which is what Mark Marone said. And if you are, that's fine. Then say that. Don't say there's not free speech. That's wrong. That's factually incorrect. It is.
Right.
You don't like being criticized. Fucking say it. Just say that, and that's fine. That's fine. Nobody likes being criticized.
The first person that comes to mind, bless his heart, we love him. He's a great NFL quarterback.
He's my
Aaron
fucking
Rodgers.
second favorite player of all time. Yes, Aaron Rodgers. He's such a shitbag human being.
To ever call yourself canceled and to be Aaron Rodgers at the same time, I want to blow my fucking brains out. Because how are you canceled?
And I think a lot of people feel that way. Like, if there was a poll I could see on NFL players, he'd be so low. Because even people who lean or even outright right hear shit like that, and anybody that has two brain cells that still dance with each other say to themselves, but he's still a quarterback in the NFL. This makes no sense.
Correct.
This is ridiculous.
Listen, if I'm some Joe Schmo in Western New York and I'm hearing the words you're saying anywhere in the world, you are not canceled. If you're saying that in a very popular platform or podcast, you are not canceled.
You're coming off 3 of the worst years in your NFL career, and you still have a starting job with the best coach in the NFL. How are you canceled? You're privileged, actually. You're literally affirmative action right now because you stunk the last 3 years, and you still got a job. Just saying.
Right. So anyway, so just to backtrack again a little bit, because I think Mr. Bean, like, he's coming from a UK perspective here, which genuinely is a gripe.
And I'll take it as that.
As far as I'm aware. But even beside that, I do think that you don't have to be in a position of power to necessarily be made the butt of a joke.
No.
You have to be somebody that takes yourself too seriously.
Correct.
I think that's when a joke can land.
Yep.
Right. But when you're talking about a marginalized community that is objectively getting harmed by the people you helped elect to power with your jokes, and you're still making jokes at the expense of that community, I think you're a fucking hack. Yep. I don't think you're funny. I don't think you're clever.
To thread that needle in a way where your talent has to be unbelievable. Your talent has to be unbelievable for a joke. Right. Because it's just harder.
I agree.
Because these people are objectively getting, like, affected negatively. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, there's a real world feel to the jokes you're making in terms of legislation being passed. That's when you have to, because again, Joe Rogan is in a unique position. Mm-hmm. George Carlin never influenced elections. Joe Rogan absolutely did in 2024.
Yes.
That is uniquely a new power that comedians have. And I don't really know what to do with that. It's moved us into a new space. Because you're not just a comedian. Now you are somebody that pushes the needle in an election. Boy, that hits different. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And like that accusation was leveraged towards Jon Stewart all the time. Because the right would say, well, you know, he criticizes, and then he goes, oh, I'm just a comedian, blah, blah, blah. And like that kind of didn't really hit. Because I don't think he pushed the needle that much. But Joe Rogan definitely did. Objectively, he did. And the likes of Joe Rogan. There's a bigger sphere. What is his name? Andrew Schultz definitely pushed the needle. I can't even tell you who else. Not even comedians, right? Like, the conversation has changed. the media landscape has changed. Traditional cable no longer has the pull it does anymore. It is the people who can put shorts up on Instagram Reels and YouTube and TikTok and all the fucking like. You people have a responsibility now. You are the new quote-unquote mainstream. And I think you should take that seriously. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm falling too far from.
Well, and to take it seriously would be to because look, if you're Joe Rogan and you're starting to talk about more serious topics, which he has over the years, then you've got to understand the effect that has. It doesn't feel like he does. That's what I feel like you mean. It's just like you have this platform. Yeah. Joe Rogan says he's a comedian. That's fine. That's not what his podcast is. I wouldn't even call his podcast a comedian's podcast. That's not true. It used to be a childlike energy for learning and understanding the world that came off as very wholesome and people embraced it. But now it's just turned into just him talking at his guests, you know what I'm saying? Just saying the same shit, being so fucking continuing to complain about COVID-19, which who gives a shit? Who fucking cares? I saw this clip actually today. It's funny. Of Joey Diaz on the podcast a few months ago, and he brings up no, actually it wasn't COVID. He brings up the fact that like the Japanese birth rate is low. And Joey Diaz looks at him and goes, "What do I fucking care about the Japanese, dude? Why are you bringing this up?" He's like, "Fucking enough politics." He's like yelling at him. He's like, "Enough politics. This shit is such trash. I don't fucking know." He's like, "I don't fucking care about the Japs." It was a little weird, but he's not wrong. It's just like, dude, who cares? Like, what do you want me to... Right. Joey Diaz, a fucking Italian guy who seems like a wannabe comedian mobster in New Jersey. You want me to comment on Japanese birth rates? Come on.
And it kind of bleeds into this next topic, and I don't know if you wanted to actually...
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Flesh it out at all, but the AP News article of the guy who... I don't even remember. He shut up some CDC offices in Georgia. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
But again, like, I promise you, I would bet my left and right testicle that this gentleman here was maybe not a frequent, but a regular listener of Joe Rogan clips at the very least, right? Because this is the pulse that you are selling. It is just skepticism of anything mainstream. It is skepticism of anything... I don't even know how to, like, quantify it. Right? Like, this guy, and I don't know if you want to flesh it out a little bit, but essentially somebody who was mentally unwell, went to the CDC offices that was in maybe Atlanta, I'm assuming. I've not actually clicked on the article. Was it Atlanta?
You're right, Atlanta, yep, you're right.
And he shot at a bunch of windows. He killed an officer. R.I.P. Nobody should die for fucking brain dead ideas.
Right. Nobody should die. Period. Go ahead. Jeez.
Well, sure. I mean.
Well, you know what I mean. Not just. Right? You know what I mean. Come on now. But yeah.
But like, this is the anti-establishment bullshit that you're selling, Joe. This is what it is. And you're more popular than you realize. And I'm not saying that Joe Rogan is what got this guy to shoot up a fucking CDC clinic. But I'm saying the heartbeat that is your podcast from 2022 on is the same heartbeat that this guy tapped into to shoot at fucking office buildings.
Yep.
It's the same shit.
Yeah, and it goes back to what I said earlier in this recording. It's like, this man, I read here he was depressed and suicidal. I read at the time, too. Probably was unemployed, let's say, or tough to stay employed, wasn't in a great spot in life. That's where people down on their luck would talk to people that truly care about them and connect to them on a day-to-day physical level, your family, your friends, and not be dicks, but give encouragement on self-reflection and how to pull yourself out and not blaming things external to you that you can't control. Control what you can control. Work on yourself. And maybe he could have rehabbed and made a difference in his own life and gone on to be a productive member of society. Instead, he probably just gets online. He's depressed and suicidal, and he's looking for something to blame. His opinions already kind of agree with fuck COVID, and now you mesh those together, and it's dangerous. Because now you've got a suicidal person who's upset at something that isn't even the cause. And what is a suicidal person going to say to themselves? well, I'm going to die anyways. I could go make a difference before I do that, which is nasty, fucked up, and happens.
Yeah. Yes,
So,
all the time. All the
again,
time. And
I
will
don't
say,
think either one of us... Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, you saw what I titled, because you sort of posted the article in a little blurb, and
I liked how you titled it.
The topic.
That was right.
And like to me, this is exactly what it's the same thing that drove the Columbine shooters.
Yep.
It's the same thing that drove the fucking Sandy Hook shooter. It is outsourcing the fault for your own misery. It is being a miserable fucking person.
Correct.
And instead of looking inward, you are looking at some way to blame other people, A, and B, destroy the world in some piece of way that gives your name any sort of notoriety. You are the worst.
True.
You are the worst impulses of humanity. That is what you are. And it's why they get attention, unfortunately. But, like, it's people like this that drives me fucking insane.
Drives me nuts.
And just real quick, before you chime in, I just want to say that David Rose was the Atlanta officer who was shot down. I don't give a fuck what the name of this kid was, whoever it was. Right, but let's have some respect for the people that actually fucking...
Yeah, I mean, you look at your random ass security guard in whatever store that's closest to you, and you just... Sometimes I think to myself, what do we need security for? Like, in all seriousness, which we don't like to do on this pod, rip to that man.
He was a police officer, actually. He was a police officer.
Whatever he was doing, you wouldn't think this is what you're facing every day. They had to. That sucks. That man's a hero.
Right.
Even though he didn't do anything. The fact that he did his job and was there is heroic.
Yeah. Is more than the fucking shooter could ever dream of doing.
Oh, he's such a pathetic piece of shit. He's burning in the depths of hell. I think...
Yeah.
But I can already hear someone strawmanning me and you and being like, oh, you think that it's just all Joe Rogan, or you think it's all this right-wing manosphere. It's like, no, we're not even saying, and I think you would agree with me, but tell me when I'm done if you don't. We're not even saying that these people are like, should like be punished or, you know, or should even really, I'm not even going to say like, I can tell you how to change to make it better, Joe Rogan, but this isn't it. This isn't it, and that's why I liked your title. It's not about what affected this man today. It's about outsourcing our own misery, which can happen in any generation going before and after us. And if you're a part of someone outsourcing their own misery for more to perpetuate more misery instead of helping them build themselves, self-reflect, and understand that they're the only thing that they can control, so start there and try to change, you're fucked. You're an asshole. You're an asshole if you don't reflect on that shit. You just are. It's, again, I fucking know how the internet works. I can already hear the straw men. Oh, if anybody gave a shit about us, nobody does. But they would clip it and they'd be like, oh, they blame Joe Rogan for this. This right here. It's just Joe. It's like, no, that's not what we're saying. No. We're saying if you have a platform, then you have to marry that with some due diligence. If you don't, you're an asshole. You're an asshole. That's what you are. So, and you can do that, and you can do that. You have the freedom to do that, but you're an asshole. Go ahead.
Of course you have the freedom to do that. That is, God bless America, that is the rights we are granted. But to pretend, and again, like, I'm not saying Joe Rogan was directly responsible for this.
Nobody is.
But what I will say, and what I will sacrifice both of my testicles at stake on, is that this man tapped into these same pulse that Joe Rogan has been riding on since 2022. Yeah. It is a anti-establishment. You should be scared. They're lying to you. And everything's fake.
And what you're saying is that the bare minimum Joe should reflect on that, right? The bare minimum.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Absolutely. And I think he does a little bit. I think Trump
he does
won, and he realized, like, oh shit, I do have a lot of pull here. Because I've seen clips since where he's sort of like parsed it out a little better. He's given the slightest amount of pushback on the Epstein bullshit, which, like, more, please. Like, could you do more about that? If you're gonna be the conspiracy guy and you're not gonna give him shit for the Epstein bullshit,
dude, the Trump Epstein connection is slapping everyone in the face so much it's not even a conspiracy anymore. Like, it's not even a conspiracy anymore. So to totally turn a blind eye to that, it's weird.
everyone's like freaking out about the DC police getting federalized, blah blah blah. I'm not even paying it any attention because
go under
he
any
has 3 days on the authority that he granted himself through whatever fucking power
I saw
that's
there's a
been
time
granted
limit.
him.
But,
But B, he is just trying to throw anything at the fact. Right.
Have you ever clicked on
man?
these posts on Reddit or anywhere else, and the first 15 comments are, okay, release the Epstein files. Okay, release the Epstein files.
I haven't, but good.
That energy's
because
strong.
Do not lose that fact, man.
No, don't let him go.
And I really hope Joe doesn't. I really hope anybody who claims themselves to be a Trump supporter doesn't lose sight of the fact that, like, yo, where there's fire, where there's smoke, there's fire. And boy, I have to take a breath before saying this because every single time I want to just rip my fucking hair out. But
oh boy, let's
Jeffrey Epstein was in a federal prison when he killed himself, and it was under the purview of a Trump president.
DJT.
If there is a conspiracy, who do you think is responsible for that?
But the thing that
the history of Jeffrey Epstein,
correct, and the thing that makes that so much worse. That's the least of it. They were best friends for years. There are deep ties that leaks keep coming out day by day with this like birthday book, and then like Virginia Giuffre actually was recruited from Mar-a-Lago. The Virginia Giuffre of fame with Prince Andrew I didn't even know that until weeks ago. It's like, dude, it's undeniable. It's fucking undeniable, dude.
It just kills me because
it's
like
undeniable.
The Epstein shit matters. It matters a lot. I do think that there are a lot of issues in this country that take precedent. But if you are somebody who is on the right, who has been harping on about Jeffrey Epstein for like fucking 8 years, and now you turn a blind eye, I'm going to fucking throttle you.
It makes no sense.
It's
insane. It's insane.
It kills
You're a
me
hypocrite. You're a grifter. You've been exposed as a grifter. Yeah.
Be consistent, please.
But that was never the point. The point was to put out things that serve fealty to their team. And if once it doesn't, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
But that's what makes me want to fucking kick a stool out from under my feet.
Because
and just
you
let
actually,
it all go.
what I'm learning as we get older in this internet age, especially because I can't comment on any other age we're not living in, people don't decide by underlying principles. Me and you do. We have these principles in our I hate soul, but I have these. If you ask me like why you believe this about this, why I could tell you the principle it comes from. Every single time, people don't do that. People just kind of like, okay, like, and I couldn't even comment because I don't do this, but people kind of just be like, oh, like I feel, or maybe they just get groomed by their parents. I don't know how people get super far right or conversely super far left. And I'm not both sidesing this because there's no super far left in this country. There fucking is not. So the real threat is not there, but it is a thing. Both of those things can be true. Like all the way communism and everything. That's ridiculous. Like there are things to. Now, we're not both sidesing here because there's no threat from the far left. Fuck off, everyone. Overton window. Look it up.
True.
But anyways.
Well, it kills me too because when I see the fucking quote unquote gotchas, where people are like, "Oh, Bill Clinton, Jeffrey Epstein."
No, then fucking throw him in jail. Nobody.
Do you not understand? I have no party loyalty. I don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
I am to the left, and if anybody is a child predator, they deserve to be under the jail.
That is correct.
Like full stop. I don't give a fuck who it is. It could be Bernie Sanders. I love Bernie Sanders. If you could come to me,
but if you got proof
hat in hand, and go, listen, here is the hardcore evidence. Yep. Bury him. Do you understand? Like that's what kills me about people who are Trumpers. Like the second it becomes inconvenient for them to know a thing, they cast it to the side and they still coddle Trump's balls. I have a problem with you as a person.
So
I would never do that.
So first of all, could you hear that video that I played earlier? Is that a thing you could hear?
Yes.
Great. Okay. So you brought up DC and you just brought up coddle Trump's balls. So I present to you something that I saw today.
Sure.
Are you ready? Oh boy, it's not great.
I'm sure you have a lot of questions today. I'm happy to get to them, so let's get started.
Love
and
Carlin,
as always, we'll start with our new Media C, who is our podcast host today, Benny Johnson.
It is
Benny,
a little
why don't you
quiet.
kick us off, and thanks for being here.
Thank you, Caroline. As a DC resident of 15 years, I lived on Capitol Hill. I witnessed so many muggings.
Can you hear him, or is it still quiet?
It's better. It's still a little quiet, but it's better.
And so much theft. I lost track. I was carjacked. I have murders on my Ring camera and mass shootings. I witnessed a woman on my block get held up at gunpoint for $20. And my house was set ablaze in an arson with my infant child inside. And so to any reporter that says and lies that DC is a safe...
Look at his face. Look at his smug ass face. Do you see that smug ass face? So let me do this real quick. I'm not even going to let him talk anymore because fuck that guy. We don't support him on this channel. He can eat my asshole. That would make me hard. Anyways, look, you lived in DC for 15 years, right? That's what he said, right? Oh, I've lived here for 15 years. On my block, I've seen the most heinous crimes that anybody could see in their life, and I never moved away. This man is like, this city is shit. And for that reason, I've lived here for 15 years, and I never moved away. It's just like, the first thing that hit me with this video is they never make it make sense. The first way you can tell someone is a grifting, lying piece of shit, first of all, is how they look in his face. His face is the most smug bastard look I've ever seen in my life, knowing what he's doing. But second of all, you've lived in this house and people get shot up for $20 and your house was lit on fire and you stayed? What? Like, what the fuck? Benny Johnson isn't poor, folks. This isn't one of those if you want to move out of the state or country, do it, even though they're poor people. This is Benny Johnson. Go ahead. Any thoughts? Jesus.
Well, okay, and because I'm too plugged in to the bullshit that is this Trump administration, I can tell he's sitting in these special seats in the press pool that were made for quote-unquote online contributors.
It's for him and Tim Pool. Go ahead.
Correct. Yes, because I've seen Tim Pool sitting in that same seat sniffing his own farts, which, to be honest, to me is gross. I think it should be rated PG-13.
At least. Sheesh.
You know he's not being sincere. I want to fucking punch you in the face because I know you're not being sincere. Because no honest to God, sincere person who calls himself a reporter is at... Just to be clear, he's not asking a question.
By the way, let's let
He's not asking
Wait,
a
let me
question.
stop you right there. Let's let it finish. Let's see if it turns into a question at all. Let's see.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Place to live and work. Let me just say this. Thank you. Thank you for making the city safe. Because no parent should have to go through what my family went through, having the fire department rip open their door to save their infant child. And so thank you for your work on
Nobody
securing
believes
the
that's
city.
true.
My question to you is this. Nancy Pelosi has attacked the president for deploying the National Guard to the city, saying that it is...
Wait, let's play Guess the Question. Okay, he said Nancy Pelosi.
Kill my...
First of all, you should. I don't know why we're doing this, but... All right, he said Nancy Pelosi. So the question is going to be... My question for you is... Nancy Pelosi sucks. What do you think? All right, let's see.
My question for you is... Communism is ruining our downtown cities.
And should we kill Nancy Pelosi? And should we murder Nancy Pelosi?
Question mark.
Oh, yeah.
This question doesn't end in a question mark. That's what I'm saying. But go ahead.
I read this book the other day that said French people in the 1700s chopped people's heads off. Nancy Pelosi? Nancy Pelosi? All right, anyways.
To cover for his incompetence, Hillary Clinton has also attacked the president for securing
all
the
greatest
DC.
hits.
I'd like to get your response to.
Can you pause it real quick?
Sure.
Can you pause it real quick?
The question is, what is your response? What is your response to people that we hate? Sorry. Okay, where do you want me to go back to?
Go back to how he ended his sentence, because I don't even know what the question was.
What happened to you and your family?
Saying that it is to cover for his incompetence. Hillary Clinton has also attacked the president for securing the city of Washington, D.C. I'd like to get your response to Nancy Pelosi and Hillary Clinton.
Sure. Well, first of all,
Okay, so I'd like to get your response to Nancy Pelosi. Incredible.
Attacking what Trump did. Right, yeah, go ahead.
Just to be clear, an 87-second preamble about his opinions, because he's a fucking loser, and we care about what he thinks in bad faith. And then let me get your response to Nancy Pelosi. So,
such a fucking
incredible,
scumbag, dude.
quote unquote journalist. You fucking suck. But just to be clear, I just don't understand. Like, why? How can you call yourself a journalist if 94% of your question is just you asserting an op-ed? What are we doing here? You're not a
insane, man.
journalist.
No. And this is how you can kind of swim through the absolute to the end of days MAGA loyalists, Benny Johnson, and other people who are just right, who voted for Trump, but all of a sudden are like, this isn't great, because they can see with their own eyeballs. This isn't great. Like, it's just crazy. I don't know how this man sleeps at night. I don't know what he does. I mean, he sleeps in his fucking money pit, but it's tough.
Yeah, most of these people just make money off of being a grifter.
And also, again, we come back to the idea that you need to make it make sense, folks, and you don't. What I mean is, so, okay, DC, and also in his press conference, he said cities at large and the country at large, cities in the country at large, are all under this crime wave. What do you mean? Where is it? You people never prove anything. How come things are just the way they are? If crime has been elevated and cities have been burning for years, especially since COVID, a lot of these people make this claim since COVID. It's not a thing. I've said this for years. I used to say this to someone I used to live with who we disagreed on a lot of stuff. I'd always end up in a conversation being like, what do you mean? Like, I look outside and it's fine. And there's people walking their dogs, picking up the dog's poop, waving hello to the child they see at the park. Like, what are you talking about? What is it you're actually talking about when you say, like, things are crazy and rampant? Now, to be clear, am I a white boy who's had some privilege over the years? Yes. Probably not in the nastiest neighborhoods? Sure. But still, man, I lived in cities. This is stupid. Stupid. So.
Well, no, and again, like, I just pulled up his YouTube channel. I mean, I can tell who this person is, and he is somebody who... And this is what kills me about the... And we can fucking beat this dead horse till fucking the
fact that he might be
up,
gay
but...
because of the thing. Sorry, go ahead.
No. Oh, God bless. That is not the angle I was going to take. He is somebody who his audience found him, and he's plugged into what they want to see, and he has to... you have to become a person to pay your bills. Because now you're plugged into an algorithm that feeds you your views.
Yep.
And unless you act a certain way, you don't get the views that'll give you the money that'll let you pay your mortgage. So he is a grifter in the sense that, like, he has to grift in a particular way, otherwise he doesn't get to own a house anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
well, it's not even own a house. It's just he's maintaining a lifestyle for sure. That's not going to be maintained.
Well, I'm looking at his views. He's not making buco bucks, but he's making enough to support a family.
With this absolute bag, I saw... I actually didn't watch the video. I did watch the video a little bit.
You go ahead, pull up his YouTube channel. I'm looking at it right now.
No. Who gives a shit about that? The most suspicious thing I've ever seen on YouTube by David Pakman. He has been buying subs, is the claim. Because he's had explosive subscriber growth, but his views are absolutely flat, if not down.
5.5 million subscribers for you having, let's see, 100K views on a video released yesterday is a little suspicious, for sure. But go ahead.
Look at this fucking shitbags banner. Does it say sub to
Yo, what's up,
Save
guys? We are in
America?
Dallas.
It does.
Oh
It does.
my God, dude.
It fucking
Sub
does. I
to
love it.
Save America. And what does
I
America
love it.
mean to you? And what are we losing? Can you tell me, sir? No, they never can. Anyways, love, God, family, America.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? They pay your bills.
I wonder if he loved America enough to serve in a civil capacity. I wonder.
No, that would require doing actual work, and I think people like this are allergic to that.
I see.
Yeah, they're
So the same people that say make sure we take care of our veterans, I see, would absolutely shit on them because they would cut government, which literally helps.
Can you click on
veterans? I see.
I'm sorry. Can you click on Benny's Brews? Look at this guy trying to fucking expand. Go to his videos. What does he got?
I thought this was going to be about beer, and the only video is the dark truth about Trump accession. What is this?
I also thought he was going to be reviewing.
Who's really trying to kill Trump?
This is a... Oh, this is
you know who's really trying to kill him? The farther away I get from that moment and how he never had an ear wound or nothing? Fucking setup. But that's a conspiracy. Just as a disclaimer. Just as a disclaimer, that's a conspiracy. I actually don't think it was a setup. I think it was a right-winger who was so fucking insane and crazy that he's way more right than even these people, and he tried to like kill Trump because he thought Trump was. Yep. Thank you. You agree? Okay.
I think
not a conspiracy.
I think what
folks.
it was. Yeah. I don't think it was a conspiracy. I think it was utilized to leverage Trump.
Dude, 4 videos.
I think it was
a video and three shorts from the same video. 22K subscribers. I have made possibly thousands of videos by now. 147 subscribers. So I will think about my life in the corner after this. It's not great, but
so let's when we get done with this, right? Let's sit down. Let's talk about the amount of money and views that is in the right-wing sphere, and maybe we change our. You think we change our theme a bit, or what do you think?
This is where once again I know that we're principled people, because the amount of times I have thought of that and it repulses me to my very core of being. It repulses me. Like, I have such a set of principles that is so hard and codified that it's not possible. And actually beyond that, I've thought often, let's add this as a little chaser at the end here. I've often wondered what makes lots of humans not be so secure in their own principles and morals that they can come up with from the world, to the point where they rely on religion, which isn't a bad thing to do. Religion makes many people better as human beings in positive ways for society. Let's just say that, because that's true.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. But what about me makes me tick differently than most people, where they can lean onto something that they don't need to have, they can just have their faith, which just doesn't compute with me. What about me ticks in the way that I can trust these principles? I don't know. I have no idea. But I just know that I have these principles and morals that if you ask me, even down to the nitty-gritty details, I can spout something off. That might not make sense to you or you agree with, whoever you are out there if we're talking, but I can still do that. Where most people, you say, oh, why do you hate gay people? Oh, Leviticus. Okay, but that's not your thoughts from your own computation. And that's fine. I'm not saying people can't do that. Of course they can. But it's not your thoughts and your own computation. It's just, oh, the book said so. It's like, what about me is different than you? I don't know.
I mean, Jordan Peterson would tell you that any of your morals are derived from being raised in a Christian
And I would say that's wrong. And I would say, fuck off, asshole. Because the problem with Jordan... What do you mean, how do you prove it? There's been so many different societies with so many different religions, with so many different cultures that have had some level of success inside of the historical period they were in. That's how you prove that wrong. Yeah. It's right fucking there. Yeah. That shit annoys the crap out of me. And I think that I've often admitted that Jordan Peterson has points earlier on in his career that were fair, were reasonable, were more towards responsibility of oneself and self-reflection. Yep. But the other bullshit just blinds me to that, so I hate him. I'm sorry. Well, I don't hate anybody. I loathe him. All right, and it blinds me. It does, dude.
I get that. I can't say I blame you. Yeah, it's just if I'm gonna take you at your whole, and there's certain things I can't look past, right? Like, it's just like this Benny Johnson fucking loser. Like, I can see you for pandering to an audience that pays your bills. I see you for what you are.
Right.
You can't be honest when the potential to draw attention is what keeps your sustenance going. I can't trust you to be honest. I'm sorry, I can't. It's why I will die on the hill of please pay for the news that you receive. I pay for Reuters.
You know what?
I could be better about my local news, but I know that you live and die by the attention you garner, and I can't trust you to be honest in that sort of system. I
First of all, you're right. Pay for your news, not just your news, your information. It helps with the quality of the information. That is correct. Second of all, I'm going to amend what I said about Jordan Peterson, because the Benny Johnsons of the world, I loathe. Just disgusting. Zero respect. Actually, the Jordan Petersons of the world and the Joe Rogans of the world, I'm just disappointed in, like a dad. Where it's like, at one point, it felt like you did have these principles and morals that guided you in a direction that really helped other people, or helped people learn, or helped people be open-minded, which is all good things.
Curious.
And then curious with Joe Rogan. But then all of a sudden, I have to question even that aspect of your life when later on you sell it all out, dude. Why are we doing that? Now, Joe Rogan has no excuse. Probably just the bubble he's in, and he moved himself to a bubble even, and it's not great. Like, even in L.A., you had a little bit more of an open, I know, conservatives and it's fucking hell and demons are in L.A. Whatever, dude. At least it was, like, differentiating opinions that could keep you somewhat swimming in
Grounded.
the waters of, like, yes, grounded in the sense that people have the freedom to be who they want, and there's all kinds of people, and that's just a fact of life. And you accept that more, as opposed to locking yourself up. Jordan Peterson, he had that Russian episode, and I really think something fucking broke in his brain. So I'm not trying to give him an excuse, all right, because I don't like him, so no excuses. But he did have that, like, weird Russian episode where he, like, had to wean himself off some bullshit, and, like, his brain might have broke. I'm not sure. Yeah, whatever that is. I don't even know what that is to this day. Is that, like, a drug? Like, is it a narcotic?
It's a drug to do with... It's not a narcotic. It could be classified as a narcotic, but it's basically to deal with anxiety.
But it's bad?
It can be very addictive for sure.
Okay.
It can fuck with your brain chemistry. And I will say, like, I have some sympathy because I don't know why he went to Russia and was induced into a coma to break his
the whole
dependence
thing's
on
weird.
benzodiazepines, but I do think there was a sense of sincerity to Jordan Peterson, and I think there is now, but I think the sincerity, quote unquote, that he's in now is one that he's convinced himself of because it sells to his audience. So he's a little different than the others. I don't think he's objectively a grifter as much as these other people are.
I don't think Joe Rogan's objective grifter either. But yeah, I'm with you.
No, I think he's just.
He's in
I'm
a
gonna
bubble.
be mean here. I
Yo,
think he's
honestly,
dumb. I think he's
different.
dumb to not realize the bubble that he's in.
Correct.
I think
it's
he's
different.
dumb.
It's different
I
ways
really
to
do.
get there, but it's the same thing with both of them, where they've convinced themselves for whatever reasons, through whatever reasons,
Correct.
that they are on the
Yes.
right side. But that is exactly when you're wrong in life. Like, not to say that there
100%.
isn't like a right and wrong and black and white in some things.
No,
but
there
like
is.
you have to
I'll
open
say
your.
that.
No, there is. I'm saying,
say
of
it.
course there is, but you have to open your
sure.
mind to other ways of being. You just do.
If
And
you don't
anybody that
read
says, no,
the-
you're wrong, the history of the world, even, let's say it's 6,000 years old, you absolute fucking troglodytes. Let's say it's 6,000 years old. Even inside of those 6,000 years, you have countless different cultures and beliefs. Countless different ones.
Yeah.
So what are we doing here? Yeah.
I know. If you don't wake up every single day and you go, man, I could be wrong about the most well-baked in beliefs that I have, then you're doing it wrong as far as I'm concerned. And it is one of the things that kicked me out of a lot of the bad ideas that I had.
Me too.
That I held dearly.
Me too.
If you can't wake up and go, man, I could be wrong about everything I believe to be true about the world, then you're doing it
We
fucking
tick the same
wrong.
way.
I'm
We tick the same way, where we're a skeptic, so much so that we're even a skeptic of ourselves. Yeah. Yep.
And that's the thing. It's I don't know what the quote is, but it's like the problem with the world is that, the intelligent are. How does it go? The intelligent are full of doubt, whereas the
Oh yeah. Blissful
whoever
ignorance.
is
Let's just say blissful ignorance.
blah blah blah. Yeah, right. Because I'm not calling myself intelligent, but to me, if you think that you're right about everything you believe, I have a fucking bridge to sell you. Please, I have something to sell you.
That's why the best game you can do with Trump fans, hardcore Trump fans, is give me a criticism of Trump.
Right.
I'm going to criticize him for giving his life to saving our country because he could have made more money as a private individual. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, okay.
If you can't, if you can't defend my criticism of Trump without you bringing up the name Clinton, you're wrong.
You're wrong. I totally.
You're not defending the person. You're just whatabouting. And I want to fucking throttle you.
And by the way, get me in an argument, and you've trolled people in your life at institutions where they serve alcohol over this, but get me in a conversation with someone about the Clintons. They're going to be like, oh, well, you think you still know so much about the Trumps? Clintons fucking suck. I'm going to be like, yeah, Clintons fucking suck. Pound it out. What do you mean? Like, that's correct. The issue is you can't say your guy sucks. That's what we're going to do. So dumb, dude. They don't even see it while they're saying it.
You can't defend your guys on just the merits, and you have to what about to this person did this thing.
Right. They're gonna be,
Like,
defend Bill Clinton. How about I'm not gonna? Like what?
How about Bill Clinton did this thing wrong, and so did your guy?
Great.
Can we do that? Is that possible?
No, I don't even care.
Man.
I'll talk to a conservative about criticism of Clinton all day long without even bringing anyone else up. I don't even care, dude. He was a fucking corporate Democrat. He was the birth of the corporate Democrat. He can suck my balls. Go ahead. Yeah.
Neoliberalism.
Oh, it's a better way to say it. I just like corporate Democrat because it paints that
American
nice
industry.
Because like I'm so sick. We gotta fucking sometimes you gotta like. And the right will say this, where it's like, oh, with the R word, we got to reclaim the word. We got to reclaim liberal as a positive. What does liberal mean? It means to be accepting and open-minded. What the fuck? Why is that bad? We got to reclaim the word. I remember having a conversation about this with my, one of my friends years ago. There was I can't even remember what it was. There was a YouTube channel that was like run by Vic Berger. Shit, I don't remember what the name of it was, but it was fucking hilarious. But it was like leftist hilarious, right? It wasn't political in nature in the first and foremost sense, but it was leftist hilarious. And this friend of mine appreciated it for what it was. I even think that he's right leaning, but he still was like, we were just bonding over this. And then he told me at work one time, someone came up and was like, oh, this is like leftist, so I don't like it. It's like, it's just like. Or no, his friend came up to him and said, like, oh, this is liberal, like, comedy. I don't fucking subscribe to that. Liberals are shitty. And I remember looking at my friend and being like, do people even know what the word liberal means anymore? This must have been, like, right after Trump won the first election that he won, I guess. I'm like, dude, have we lost the meaning of liberal? I even looked it up and showed my friend at the time. I'm like, liberal literally means to just be, like, open-minded and, like, defend freedoms. It's just like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Natural freedoms.
Like obviously economically, I support a very government first approach to basic needs, and the rest of it can be whatever. But when it comes to social things, just liberal, bro. Why don't we just live and let live? I don't understand. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, it blows my mind. I get really frustrated with people being plugged into like sort of the media spheres that they are, because if you're somebody that subscribes to traditional liberalism, if you're the Dave Rubin type,
what does that even
which by
mean?
the way,
can you tell me what that means?
He uses that as just a defense against his brain dead takes,
for sure.
Because he's not a classical liberal, right? Like he's just straight up not. But if you go back to sort of the Renaissance and the birth of free thought and the birth of just critical thinking. Liberalism is somebody who doesn't take the government at its word, right? Like, it's not somebody that believes in divine right, doesn't believe in...
It's very libertarian.
Correct. It really is.
Yeah.
It is.
It is.
Classical liberalism is just libertarianism. So everybody who claims to be on the right and goes, fuck liberalism, if you take it for what it really is, you are a liberal. I'm sorry, you're a classical liberal. Full stop.
Last thing before we'll end it.
I'm sick of it. And I get that labels can be sometimes more harmful than they're, like, helpful, but, like, dude, can we just... If you're a student of history, if you're just somebody that understands where these labels are coming from, like, dude, fucking humble yourself. That is what you are.
And I'm not. Last thing before we sign off, I'm not trying to be a dick, because I don't want to be a dick to anybody, especially if they're a parent. That's not what we're doing. But you and me both know Dave Rubin posts and probably reads comments from time to time, right? Right?
Yep.
Years ago, he posted, not that long ago, but he posted, and this is how I kind of, and again, I'm not trying to slander the man as a parent, but I will slander him as a human being. You are in such service to yourself and your brand that you would sell out your own private life for your public persona. And what I mean by that is, a couple years ago, he posted online that him and his husband had kids, two boys, twin boys. I think both of them had a little surrogate mama, so they both had a child with their genes, and they're raising two children, or just children. I don't know if they're boys. The insane hate from what you would perceive from his own side was crazy in the comments. And I want to go back to, because me and you both, and all of us know he read those comments. I don't give a fuck what you say. Oh, maybe he just ignores that shit. Yeah, right. It's Dave Rubin. Yeah, right. What's more fascinating to me, not the fact that he saw that and knows that, is that, again, me and you, we do this for fun, but we still don't even put our names on it. And I wouldn't unless it actually, like, paid me a fucking silver dollar. The reason is because I value my private life, and I'm not going to sell my public life out just to be rich and that affect my private life. So do you see what I'm getting at? It's like this man made a choice, because he still does it to this day, to sell himself in a way in his public persona, in a way that the people that buy it hate him as a private person. Who would do that? Yep. Who would do that? That's crazy. I mean, obviously people do, not just him. And again, I'm not going to criticize him as a parent. I don't know what he's like as a parent. Could be a great parent at home. I don't know. But what is clear and is out there in the public is that he's sold himself out publicly to people who would hate him privately. And that's a fact.
Yes, so. Absolutely. And I do think it is a larger symptom of the problem with how our media landscape gets generated online these days. Because somebody like that has, right? Like it's like the leopards ate my face party, right? Like that old joke of, well, I voted for the leopards because I didn't think they'd eat my face. Like, but in this case, they are incentivized to be the leopard
right.
voter.
In this case, he knows his face is being eaten because he sees those comments, but he still continues because it pays the bills and makes a lot of money.
Because that's bread and butter.
Yeah.
And like, to me, I have zero fucking respect for you.
Zero. Negative.
The only reason you court this audience is because they pay your bills.
Yep.
Fuck you, man. You have no principles. You have zero principles.
Your only principle is being rich and having an influence. That's it.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. And you know what's funny too, and I know I'm dragging it on a little bit, but
there's a lot of quotable moments here. I got to make some shorts out of this. Even that Rubin rant was. Go ahead.
Let me do quotes here, right?
Yeah.
Is a lot of the people like the Steven Crowders and the fucking Dave Rubins of the world are, for some reason, generally speaking, failed actors who found an audience.
I don't understand.
Which I think says a lot.
I do think that says a lot. I think that means you wanted some attention, which isn't necessarily wrong to want in life. That makes you maybe a little self-centered, but it's not wrong to be that way.
It makes you a fucking prostitute because you found where the money was, and it didn't.
Well, in their
you didn't
case,
care about who you were. You cared about the money.
In their case, that's true. I'm sure there's a lot of failed actors that didn't sell themselves out, and whatever, they're nobodies in the bit. Right, but they yep.
And just to be clear, point number 2 there, just to round it off, because I did talk about, Mr. Bean here, and he's like, well, punching, you don't necessarily have to punch.
He is a little right-wing in real life, but go ahead. He is.
Rowan Atkinson?
Yeah, he is. Look it up. I'm not going to say it's, like, bad or anything, but he is. He's a Tory.
I do have a lot of respect for him. I
have a lot of respect for Aaron Rodgers on the football field, not the person. We can split things up. Go ahead.
I was not aware that he was a Tory, but I'm also not very familiar with UK politics in general, so I'm not even.
A Tory is like being a fucking.
No, I know.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Second point. Round it off. But in the idea of punching at people that just take themselves too seriously, I do agree with that, but I also do agree at the end of the day, and I know that you do too, that we are classical liberals in the sense that, like, bro, your body is your...
Yeah.
You are allowed to do whatever the fuck you want. Trans people do not bother me in the slightest. I may not understand it. I may not... Whatever. But if it is your own being, if it is your own choice, and you are able to function as a member in society, I do not give a fuck about what you do. I truly don't. I don't.
Yep.
So, I know that's, a little bit of, like, we've made that point before, but I just wanted to close out. Me defending Rowan Atkinson is not me defending, like, trans hate. I think people should be who they want to be.
I
don't give a fuck.
He's a trans hater.
People's own being. No, I don't think he is. I don't think he is either. But I just wanted to make that point clear. Like, punching, laterally is fine with me if you're somebody who takes yourself too seriously. But I do think that people who want to exist however they want to exist in their own being is their right to do so. So, anyways. Yeah, that's all I got.
I'm floored by the amount of articles that I'll read from an either left or right perspective on things. And me and you too, and I think to some extent other people in our life we know, agree with both sides. I get so frustrated how straw manning gets slipped into things to accelerate the panic about it. Like right here with this, like, and I'm not saying this is what he said. I'm just going to characterize it the way I want for my point here. A lot of times you'll see, oh well, like with Aaron Rodgers, cancel culture is a thing. It's like me and you would both say that cancel culture is a thing in the way they're saying, where there's cultural pushback online and here and there, but it's not a thing in the sense that you're a victim. And so, like, the amount of things I might read from one perspective or another, not even left or right, fuck that, but any perspective, there's a kernel of truth there. It's the running away with the I'm trying to fucking convince people, and so I'm going to frame it this way. That pisses me off, man. Makes me upset.
Yeah.
That's what makes me upset about this. And I'm not saying that Rowan Atkinson is doing this, but, you know, the framing of things matter. And if you're complaining about cancel culture and the whole way you frame it is, well, there's also people in the lower dregs of society who are shitty and should be made fun of, but that's the only thing you say, then fuck you. Because the power is very little there. You can talk about that and add that to your soliloquy. That's fine. But a lot more of it should be fuck the people in power. They're the ones that pull the levers on policy and hurting people or helping people and whatever. And so, like, I'm going to focus more energy there. And then slip in, hey, but also, let's not get it twisted. We've all met that poor kid growing up who's fucking too big for his britches, and we could slap him down. That's fine. That's fine.
Wow.
That's fine. I just hate the fucking kernel of truth to everything, and then I see where they run away with their sliminess. So it just makes me mad.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's enough
there you
garbage.
go. God bless.
God bless us, everyone. What's that from? Toy Story?